In my previous audio video clip, I have taught you about the second features of democracy. The second features of democracy is free and fair electoral competition. Now, today I am going to continue the third features of a democratic government is one person, one vote, and the value of the vote is one. Before going inside the topic, first I would like to convey you about a cartoon. This cartoon helps you to understand the concept one person, one vote, and the value of the vote is one very clearly. This cartoon is about the Iraqi election held after Saddam Hussein's regime was overthrown. He is shown behind the bars. What is the cartoonist saying here? Compare the masses of this cartoon with the first cartoon in this chapter. The cartoonist tells us about the equality of the right to vote and equal value of each man's vote. In another quotation, he says that the dictator mostly prefers the situation when he is the only man to decide any matter by his only vote. The first cartoon shown that the US Army personnel are elevating the process to form a democracy in Iraq. But in this cartoon, the message is that the democracy is already established. It means it is necessary for a democratic nation to provide each and every one universal voting rights must be granted to each and every individuals. There will be no variation. There should be no variation among the people on the basis of vote. In the previous chapter, it was also discussed how a struggle for democracy was associated with a pursuit for universal adult franchise. Now it has become almost a globally accepted principle. In each and every democratic setup, one person, one vote, and one value has been accepted. But still, in certain parts of the world, this equal rights to vote is denied to all citizens. लेकिन आज भी कुछ एक ऐसे देश हैं जहां लोगों को इक्वल राइट्स जो है वो नहीं मिला हुआ है. सऊदी अराबिया, there women don't have the right to vote. Number 2, Estonia. Here the citizenship rules limit the right to vote for people from Russian minorities. Number 3, Fiji. The electoral system in this country allots more value to the vote of a native Fijian than that of an Indian Fijian. The fundamental principle of political equality forms the basis of democracy. Therefore, the third feature in a democracy, each adult citizens must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Now, I am going to convey you about the fourth features of a democracy. It is rule of law and respect for rights. I am going to convey this topic with an example of Zimbabwe. Till 1980, Zimbabwe was under the white minority rule. Its struggle for freedom was led by a party called ZANU PF. Since independence, Zimbabwe is being ruled by the same party, ZANU PF. The leader of the party, too, continued since independence, Robert Mugabe. Elections have been held regularly and always on by ZANU PF. President Robert Mugabe is very popular in his country but is also known for restoring the power by using unfair means during elections. The constitution has been modified several times by his government to enhance the powers of the president. The more powerful president becomes less answerable to his people. The workers of opposition party are harassed. The meeting of opposition parties are disrupted. Public protests and demonstrations against the government are declared illegal. The law limits the right of the people to criticize the president. Government controls the television and radio and gives only the ruling party's version. The government harasses independent newspapers and journalists who oppose the government and its policies. No attention was paid to the court judgment that were passed against the government. Instead, the judges passing these judgments were harassed. We know that in a democracy, the popular approval of rulers is necessary. But from the example of Zimbabwe, very clearly we can say that just approval is not adequate. Through this observation, very easy we can say that popular governments can be undemocratic. Popular leaders can be autocratic, nirankush. To assess any democracy, it is important that elections should be free and fair. To allow fair and free elections, the period before and after the elections is important too. A normal political activity accompanied by political opposition should be permitted before the election. The basic rights and freedoms of the citizen must be respected by the state. The judiciary should be independent, free from political pressures, and should be obeyed by all. The fundamental rights of citizens should be protected by this kind of judiciary. Therefore, in a democratic country, it is required for citizens. Citizens should be free to think, to have opinions, and citizens are also permitted to express their views and ideas publicly. To form associations, people are allowed to form association, and through this association they are also allowed to criticize the work of the government, to protest and take other political actions. Everyone should be equal in the eyes of laws. In our constitution, Article 14 stated that each and every individual is equal before law. Therefore, it is also necessary in a democratic country there will be no variation among the people by the laws. For a government to rule democratically, the criteria set for the manner in which a government must function after the election should be fulfilled. Simply winning the elections doesn't authorize the democratic government to function as it desires. It is necessary for the government that came after winning the election. It is the duty of the government to respect the basic rules. They have to give some assurance, especially to the minorities. जीत के आने के बाद सरकार की ये जिम्मेवारी बनती है कि जो माइनॉरिटी के अंदर में रहने वाले लोग हैं उनको ये एक आश्वासन लगे कि ये जो सरकार है वो हमारे लिए भी कुछ काम जो है वो करेगी. All major decisions are taken after a series of counseling and approvals. The Constitution and law give some rights as well as certain duties to the office bearers. The office bearers, it means government employees, are answerable to the people as well as other officers. Therefore, we can say that a democratic government rules within limits set by constitutional law and citizens' right. Here, a cartoon is depicted. I am going to first read the cartoon. Chinese government blocked free flow of information on the internet by placing restrictions on popular websites like Google and Yahoo. The image of tanks and an unarmed student reminds the reader of another major event in recent Chinese history. Find out about that event. This cartoon reminds us of the massacre in Tiananmen Square. Massacre मतलब हत्या करवा देना, बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर लोगों को मार देना. ये घटना तियानानमेन स्क्वायर पे हुआ था जो बीजिंग के अंदर में है और ये घटना 1989 के अंदर में हुई थी. In April 1989, triggered by the death of Hu Yaobang, a liberal reformer, mass gathering and protest took place in and around Tiananmen Square in Beijing. यहाँ पे लोग गैदर्ड हुए थे, वो इस प्रयास में थे कि सरकार जो है वो डेमोक्रेटिक प्रैक्टिसेस जो है यूज़ करे और लोगों को बोलने की आज़ादी दे, वो अपना जो व्यूज़ है, अपना ओपिनियन है, उसको वो रिफ्लेक्ट कर सके देश के अंदर में. It was largely a student-run demonstration which called for economic reform, freedom of the press, freedom of the speech, and political liberalization. The Chinese government brutally suppressed the movement, for which it was internationally condemned. इस घटना को लेकर के पूरे विश्व के अंदर में चाइना की निंदा जो है वो की गई थी, चूँकि ये एक बहुत ही बर्बरतापूर्वक कार्य जो है वो चाइनीज़ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के द्वारा किया गया था. In my next audio video clip, I will provide you information about argument against democracy and arguments for democracy.